Shabbos, first of all, our prayers are with the hostages. They should come out immediately. The evil in this world, Islamic terrorism, the source of most of the evil in this world, based on Islam's delusional idea that they are superior. The whole world has to be subjugated through force, through violence. It's actually gotten so bad. I looked this up. I just did a ChatGPT thing, which is that literally they're thinking that it used to be taking over a country. Now it's just about killing people. It's horrific. And anybody that's supporting them is literally supporting the people that want to kill them. It's like insane. But in any event, we should have peace in this world with the coming of the Mashiach. A short teaching that the Rebbe teaches on this week's Torah portion, very, very, very profound. In fact, two short teachings. The first is that it says in Pirkei Avos, we're learning Pirkei Avos every week, and it says that God could have created the world with one sentence. In the beginning, God made heaven and earth. And in fact, it says that everything in potential, where everything was actually there, like in a kind of microcosmic way, and then he kind of set it out slowly but surely in the 6 days of creation. So what's the concept of the one and then 10 sayings like let there be light and all the different things? Why do we have this oneness we have even in the 10 commandments? One, I am God your Lord, the essence of the religion, and then you have the details. In fact, Rebbe Gaon wrote a book how every single mitzvah of the 613 mitzvahs can be traced to one of the 10 commandments. So what is better? Is a one better, a singularity, or is 10 better, a plurality? And the answer is both are better. You need to have the concept of oneness, something that's higher than the human. But you also have to be able to take that oneness and bring it into, the human race. In other words, if you want to call it a race, we are kind of in a race. We're kind of trying to always progress, trying to make things better. And to do that, we have to be individuals trying to grow, individuals coming together with love, but there always has to be the sense of the one. So the ultimate way for a person to function is to know that everything is run by the one. Anything, even the words I'm saying now, was designed, Kabbalah speaks about machshava hakduma da'aka, initial thought of God. First came God's desire for us, and then he had a thought, and in that thought it was like the DNA of everything that would ever happen. So even the words I'm saying to you, the fact that you're listening to this now, was designed in the initial point of creation. And so the point is that we have to understand that we're part of the design. This interview, Hannah Weisberg does really great interviews, and she recently interviewed this guy, interesting guy. So he said the thing that really made him religious was this rabbi had a speech. He says, you think that you created God. In other words, God is part of your reality. You're actually part of his reality. That's a very important statement. We are part of his reality. He's not part of our reality. Now, it's true, he gives us freedom of choice, allows us to think, and allows us to discover. But still, who created you with the ability to think, to not see God everywhere, to see, even quantum physics tells us everything is just basically in a wave format. And then when you look at it, it becomes a particle. The whole thing is like Toy Story. It's just an amazing world in which, we get to not see God in order to then discover him. So the whole process was created by him in the first place, which is okay because still it's our process, it's our story, but really it's his story. History is his story. We're actually in his world. He's not in our world. And once we understand that this world is actually a place where we're meant to realize that. So everything we're doing is not just selfish, or even religion and spirituality. How come Islam creates so much violence around religion? And in the history of the world, Christianity, and to be honest, the Jewish people too, we're in the time of the mourning of the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva. They didn't respect one another. Thank God they weren't killing each other, but they didn't have proper respect. And we even see this within our Jewish people, which is, there are many Jewish groups. Do we properly respect that another person is entitled to his opinion? If you have another opinion, just respectfully go to them. I'm actually quite impressed with, let's say, Christian missionaries today, as opposed to the past, which would go kill people. They approach you and they want to teach you about, okay, I disagree with them, but at least it's respectful. And that's what the Rebbe came to the world to do. The Baal Shem Tov Hasidus to teach, yes, you should share your message, but always remember to share it with respect and respecting the other person. In fact, the reason the world exists is for the other person. The reason the world exists for people. And so in conclusion, we have to work on this concept of always being with the one in the details, never losing sight that it's all God's story, but it's also our story too. And together, it's a great, great, amazing story. And finally, the Rebbe says that a healthy person uses his intellect. First you think, and then you consult others that are experts in the field, friends of yours that can give you knowledge. And then once you have a direction, then you act. And even before you act, you have to rethink it, because in action, there's always maybe a little difference. I have a friend, and he says, in fact, him and his father, they run a company. They have 300 people. They're dealing with their wealth. So you can imagine people are very touchy with their money. He says, before I do something, before I send an email, I always think. I said, 5 minutes saves the world. I think, what's it going to look like in a minute, in a year? Think. So even after you thought, before you're ready to press the button, think again. And this will be the most awesome world you can create. Thank you.